Hi all, Jack Olesker here in the heart of darkness as Kim and I continue packing, getting ready for our big move. Boy, it's a good thing I am a veteran because I can tell you this, this has been one hell of a battle. Oh gosh, but a wise woman once told me we're closer to the end than we are to the beginning, so we're making headway here. And speaking of making headway, gosh, back in 1991, I completed my first, not my first Paris adventure because I'd been there before, but I completed my Paris adventure with Hot Wheels, Heroes on Hot Wheels with Michelle Valiant, and had a great time when I was in Paris. Kim reminded me, by the way, Kim, I don't know though, the dates don't sync. You said that you went with me to Prevan Vanetti's house.
I was in an apartment in Paris on our honeymoon, which would have been 96.
Okay, but the Heroes on Hot Wheels were 91. Maybe we went to visit Prevan Vanetti again when I came back to Paris.
Yeah.
But the first time I went there, I don't think you were with me. Anyway, be that as it may, had a fantastic time writing for that show. I really liked it, globe-trotting, having our heroes going all over the world on adventures, and that was really a lot of fun. And I wrote a ton of episodes. So get back to Palm Springs flush with all this work I've done and cash that I put into my bank account. And Jean's immediately got a new show for me to do from Jet Lag. And on this one, I will have the great pleasure of working with Avi Arad for the first of what will be numerous times. Avi, anybody that follows the entertainment industry knows that Avi was the executive producer on Iron Man franchise and Spider-Man, and went on to become the president, I think, and CEO of Marvel Entertainment. So, and a great guy. Avi and I had the world's longest tennis match at Jean's estate in the Bahamas, where I stayed many times. Actually, there was an estate that was used in the James Bond film Thunderball. But Avi and I played a set. We ended up 5-5. And then 6-6, and we went on for like 2.5 hours, and eventually I did him in, and I don't know, I may have told this story before, and then I went in and changed and everything. Yeah, I did tell the story before, and I come out and I'm sitting by Jean's pool, and Avi comes out and he says, "How you doing, Jack?" I said, "I'm doing fine." I said, "How you doing?" He said, "I'm okay, but I'm going to sit." And I said, "Well, that's good because I don't think I can stand up," because that was a rough tennis match. Anyway, Avi was the executive director on a great series that I was going to do with him later on that was called Botsmaster. But this was the first series that I'd worked with him on a series called King Arthur and the Knights of Justice. And this was in 1991. Avi was the executive producer, and Alan Bobat, who was a legend in the industry, especially in the toy end of it, was also on board, along, of course, with Jean. I wrote the series Bible, and then I wrote, it was called the English adaptation, but I wrote all of those episodes, which I really, really enjoyed. It was such a clever concept. It's about this team, the New England Knights football team, and they're traveling in their bus going to another game, and there's a thunderstorm, and it turns out that Merlin sends down a lightning bolt, and he transports them back to medieval days where they're going to do battle with the opposing knights who are trying to take over Camelot, and of course Guinevere. And one of the things that I loved about it, that I thought was so cool, was that in each of the episodes, because they were football players, they were knights, and they had armor and everything else. But because they were football players, they always used their football skills. So, forward passes and runs against the villains and everything. And it was really clever. It was kind of tongue in cheek. But I had an awful lot of fun doing that. And, it was a great series to work on. Avi was and is still just a real pleasure to work with, a real gentleman. I think King Arthur and the Knights of Justice is a really underrated series. If you ever want to have something that you enjoy that'll make you smile, you can access it on the web, probably on YouTube, and I'm sure there's a collection out there. But it's really watchable. And the nice thing about it was that I'm going to a Comic-Con in a couple of weeks, and they say one of the questions on the panel I'm serving on is how has the animation industry changed in the years that you've been there? Well, I was there during the golden years, and as I've said before, when I wrote and created The New Adventures of He-Man, that was one of the first, if not the first, series that ever did a continuing storyline. It ended with a cliffhanger and you moved on to the next episode. It's a continuing storyline. And of course, that spawned wonderful shows like Avatar: The Last Airbender and King Arthur and the Knights of Justice, which had its own continuing storyline. And that was something that I really, really enjoyed. So, got back and jammed on writing those episodes. And again, I'm able to write all the episodes because Jean was so clever in and he also had faith in me after our many years together. He didn't want to bring in 5 different writers, have to hire a story editor, bring all the storylines into house style. He had one guy that he used to call the Animal that would knock out all of these episodes, and he didn't have to worry about house style. I was the house style. It's like the one guy that got ticked off of me. Oh, Jack, you want to write all the episodes of every show. He says, I don't know how you can live in Palm Springs. You're so far out of the loop. I said, what you don't understand is I am the loop. Okay. So that was a lot of fun to write, and knocked that out. And then moving a little forward, move into 1991 or 1992. I'm still living in Palm Springs, but gosh, it got so brutally hot in the summertime there. I remember the first year that I moved there, I was in a mall, and I walk out and it's 115 degrees. And the joke in Palm Springs was always, well, it's a dry heat, so it only feels like it's 112, And I walk out to my car and I grab the chrome handle, and I got like 2nd-degree burns. At the car washes, they had a grip that you would use on the handle so you wouldn't burn your hand. But as a result, by the time it was the second year that I'm living down there with my house, I decided I can't take this during the summer. So I would go to San Diego on the Silver Strand and lease a home there. So I did that, wrapped up King Arthur and the Knights of Justice. And, as a writer and also as a producer, I'm sure as an actor and a director, you always worry, is this it? What if there's no more? And to Jean's credit, he always kept me so busy with projects, and would, throughout the years, as you'll see, and as my good friend Haim Saban also did, as you'll also see. And next, Jean had just an amazing project for me. And it wasn't a series, okay? But it was animation, and boy, that was a lot of work, and it kept me going for a long time during my summer in San Diego. And I'll talk about that in our next installment. In the meantime, make sure that you check that you like us and subscribe. And right now, Kim, we're going back to packing, right?
Back to packing.
Okay, baby. Okay, see you guys soon. Take care.